on this one. All right, we are going to be talking today about why athletes need to upgrade their systems. This is something that I found for a long time is very important in the world of high performance sport. We need to make sure that, as you progress through a career, MVM Academy, thanks for joining in. But we're going to be talking about athletes upgrading their systems today. So something that I've found for a very long time is very important for athletes to have is systems as they move into higher and higher levels of sport. But as you're tuning in, I'd love to know how the week is off to a good start for you. I hope the week is off to a good start for you. I'd love to know how things are going for you. So drop me a quick comment. Let me know how your day is going. Let me know how the week is starting off for you. And in just a minute, we're going to get into why athletes need to upgrade their systems. So as we're getting it started, though, just a reminder, the people that I want tuning into these lives are athletes, parents of athletes, coaches, anybody that is involved in that high performance athlete journey. So let's get into it. Why athletes need to upgrade their systems, why this is an important thing for athletes to keep in mind, and why your skill set might not be enough as you start to move further and further through your athletic career. So obviously we all know that to make it to a high level in sport, you need to practice hard, you need to train hard, you need to be good at whatever it is you do. But as you move up higher and higher in those levels, if everybody knows this, then just doing that isn't going to be enough. So if you think back to when you actually started competing in your sport, when you started playing in your sport, whatever that is for you, all you really needed to do was show up. You needed to show up, you needed to practice, you needed to just try things and kind of find your style. And in the beginning, that was enough. If you were good, you kept kind of moving up levels. If you weren't good, you maybe started to weed yourself out or just, compete recreationally, which is also fine. But in the beginning, that's all anybody really needed. Now, as you continue to move up levels, as you start to compete at higher levels, competition gets tougher. And if competition gets tougher, Devon, the real deal, good to have you here. So just to reiterate, we're talking about why athletes need to upgrade their systems. So Devon, I'd love to know how your day's going, how the week's going, how things have kind of started off for you this week. But getting back to it, so as you move up levels, as you compete at higher and higher levels, then you need to be doing more than just showing up, practicing, and training, because athletes at these higher levels all know they need to be doing that, all are hopefully doing that. So what is it that you're going to do that's going to separate you and allow you to continue to compete and continue to move up levels while other people are weeded off? So in the beginning, you're just trying shit, you're finding your style, you're developing into whatever athlete you're going to be. And then as you move up to these higher and higher levels, things get harder. Competition levels up with you. So you've got to ask yourself, how long is just your skill set going to be enough? Because in the beginning, just being good at the sport is going to be all you need. You're going to keep improving just based off of the fact that you're naturally a good athlete and you're continuing to get better in the sport. But as you move up to these levels, what is special about you? Why are you the one that's going to continue to move up, continue to work towards achieving these goals you set out for yourself, while the other ones all get weeded off? So this is why we need the systems. This is why, as you continue into the professional ranks in sport, you can't keep functioning on amateur systems. You can't keep just showing up and expecting that to be enough. So when I talk about systems, the big thing I'm talking about here is priorities outside of the sport itself. So obviously we know that as you move into professional ranks in sport, we just had a quick pause there. Sorry if you're still tuned into that. I just got a call and I'm not sure who it was from. So we're going to ignore that and keep on going. But like I was saying, this is why we need systems. This is why, as you move into the professional ranks in sport, as you move into the elite amateur ranks in sport, you need to be prioritizing things outside of the sport itself. So a few of the things that are important here. Number one, one of the most important systems you need outside of the sport itself is mentality. So is teaching yourself how to continue to improve your mentality as you move up to higher levels. So, one of the best ways to do this, build yourself a daily ritual that can help you work on your mindset. If you're building yourself a daily ritual that can help you work on your mindset, this can be something as simple as 10 minutes of meditation and visualization in the morning. Jeff, thanks for tuning in. This can be, working with a sports psychologist. There can be so many more things that you do that can help you work on your mindset every day. And the reason as an athlete this is so important is because as you move up levels and as the competition continues to get more intense and continues to get higher level with you, this comes with its own set of challenges. This comes with its own set of adversity. And as this adversity continues, as you continue to face this adversity, you need to have the mental toughness to be able to work past it. You need to be in a position that as you continue to face this adversity, you can continue to work through it. Because if, as you continue to face adversity, you're not able to work through it, you're not able to get past it, you're going to be one of the athletes that gets weeded out. You're going to be one of those people that ends up falling off, and you're not going to be able to continue to work forwards, continue to move forwards towards the goals you set out for yourself in your career. So improving your mindset every day, having a routine, having something in place that you can actually turn to and you can actually continue to work on and develop is only going to serve to help you as you move up to higher and higher levels in sport. One of the other really important ones is recovery work. I know from 13 years experience working with athletes, I know that people love to talk about training. People love to talk about, the grind every day. Tim, good seeing you too, man. Thanks for tuning in. People love to talk about that grind every day, but not a lot of people love to talk about recovery. And the big thing is, guys, you get one body, you get one chance to compete at a high level in sport. And if you're not taking care of your body, if you're not doing what you can to actually recover properly and continue to train at your best, you're going to fall off. Tim, I know you can speak well to this because being a professional athlete for 30 plus pro MMA fights now, when you start taking care of your body the right way, when you start doing those little extra things, a little bit of extra mobility work, you start feeling better. And if you start feeling better, you start training better too. And yeah, so this is one thing that, again, a new system that people need to be able to truly elongate their career, truly achieve the goals that they're trying to set out for themselves, is systems to help work on your recovery. And then this brings me to one of the most important ones that I think we can talk about, which is nutrition. And from my experience working with athletes, this is one of the hardest ones for people. It's so easy to come to the excuses, I don't have time to meal prep. I'm too busy. Oh, it's not a big deal. I'll just stop and pick something up on the way home. And obviously, I understand how easy this can be. This was a big trouble for me for a very long time as well. But in my own experiences, what I started realizing was the more and more I ate out, the more and more I actually didn't take proper care of my nutrition, the more I started feeling it, the more I started realizing within my own day to day, not even training for high level sport, but just running a business and needing to be at my best day to day, the worse I felt when I wasn't taking care of my nutrition, the worse I felt, which meant the less I was showing up at my best at the gym, the less I was showing up at my best for everything else I was doing within my business. And what I started to do, this was a big transformation for me during COVID, was I started to, instead of think about, how easy it would be to just stop off and pick up Subway on the way home, started thinking about when I eat out, how do I show up the rest of the day? How do I feel the rest of the day? And when I'm feeling low energy, when I'm not feeling like showing up, when I'm not feeling good, how does that affect everything I have to do within my day? So as an athlete, if you can ask yourself, when I stop and I eat McDonald's on the way home instead of actually good home cooked prepped meals, how do I feel the rest of my day? How am I showing up to training with Big Macs in my stomach versus, a proper home cooked healthy meal that's designed to help me perform? And the more and more and more you can get that in your head of how much that nutrition actually affects you and how important it is to properly fuel your body before you train, then the more important you're going to start seeing that it is for you to have those systems in place, for you to be able to turn to a proper system that is going to allow you to cook the food you need, to eat the food you need, to fuel yourself the way you need to train day after day, week after week, month after month, and year after year. So the final schedule, I guess I kind of gave it away there, but the final system that I wanted to talk about that I feel like athletes really need to be upgrading as they move further into their career is scheduling. Nobody's going to come do this stuff for you. Obviously, I've talked about a lot, and I understand that athletes have a lot on their plate. And, it is tough to properly cook your meals, to get a proper recovery session in, to take an actual day off that you need within your training week, to spend a good amount of time every day working on your mentality, working on your mental toughness, and all of these important things athletes need to be doing. It's tough. It takes a lot. But as you move up these levels and as you continue to understand the importance of all of these elements, if you can be scheduling these things into your week properly, find the day that you can put 2 to 3 hours aside and meal prep everything you need for the week. Find that 20 minutes in the morning that you can spend working on a daily ritual to help work on your mindset. Find that day in your week that works to make into a recovery day. Find the time in your week and schedule it in as a non-negotiable. The same as you need to go to work on time or you're going to get fired. Have that same mentality when it comes to your mindset rituals, when it comes to your recovery work, when it comes to your nutrition, when it comes to all of these things. You need to have it as a non-negotiable priority in your week. You need to have it scheduled in as something that absolutely must be done, because that's the only way that you're going to be able to keep yourself doing it. This is something I've been learning a lot about in my business coaching course right now, building a workflow that even though I'm my own boss and nobody's forcing me to sit down at 9 o'clock every Tuesday morning and do a live stream, when I put that in as a non-negotiable in my week, I sit down and I do it. When I put that in as something that, I'll do a live stream when I feel like it, that might get pushed further and further down the schedule. So as an athlete, if you can have those things scheduled into your week as well, now you're going to be able to keep to these systems better. You're going to be able to reduce the amount of stress and the amount of overwhelm that you feel. And if you can reduce the stress, reduce the overwhelm, and you can get these things properly scheduled into your week, that's more and more time for you to just focus on being an athlete, for you to not have to worry about all of these things, because every Tuesday at 4 p.m., I sit down for 2 hours and I meal prep. Every morning for 25 minutes, I work on these 3 things from my mindset. If those are scheduled in every single day, you don't have to worry about them anymore. You just do them and you have more time that you can focus on simply being an athlete. So to close this out, the goal today was just to get everybody thinking about their systems. So not to sit here and tell you that, this is the exact system that you need to have, because every person's going to be a little bit different. Every person has a different schedule when it comes to work, school, family, all of these obviously very important things. So the goal here was just to get you thinking about the system and thinking about how you can implement that better into your week to see more success in your athletic career. So if you're tuned in right now, I'd love to know if there's anything in particular that you took away from this time. I know I can go on a little bit, so I'd love to hear if there's anything important you took away, anything that you feel like you can implement, whether it's into your own week, whether you're the parent or the coach of an athlete, and it's something you can help them implement into their week. Drop me a quick comment on the live stream if you're here. I'd love to know anything that you took away, anything that you want to implement yourself. But then also anything, that you're going to work on upgrading. If you did tune in, thank you. I appreciate you taking the time to sit and listen to me go on like this. If you want to hear more stuff like this, make sure you're at these live streams every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. And as well, you can check me out on social media, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. I'll make sure to get those links out onto the various streams too. And I'm trying to post a lot more stuff like this where we're not just talking about, 3 ways to a better squat or anything like that you see a lot of strength coaches talking about, but getting a lot more into those things behind the scenes, those things that, in my opinion, truly make or break the careers of athletes. So thank you all for tuning in. That's it for me. As always, I'd love to hear any takeaways in the comments, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. All right, we're going to